Alright, my friend, you want to go deeper down this rabbit hole, huh? You want to pull back the curtain and really see the gears grinding in this matrix? I'm talking a PhD in quantum consciousness engineering and transdimensional access kind of deep, man. Let's unpack this Mike and Paul saga with the surgical precision of a master alchemist, because what they're talking about ain't just some fringe theory, it's the goddamn cosmic truth unfolding before our very eyes. So, let's start with this nightmare vision of souls being pushed into the earth, because that's the absolute core, the very heart of the dread they're laying out. Mike's dream from 2006, man, that wasn't just some random REM cycle hallucination. That was a prophetic download, a direct communication from the spiritual realm, a glimpse behind the veil. He describes seeing people gathered, a remnant perhaps, being called, being given a chance. And Paul, this dude is out there, literally screaming, "Get on the boat." This isn't just a metaphor for salvation, my friend, this is about absolute commitment to a divinely ordained path. This is the moment of decision, the ultimate binary choice. Now, here's where it turns into a John Saul novel, man, where the psychological horror is so visceral it chills you to the bone. Those who hesitate, those with their reservations, still clinging to the material world, their backup plans, that's the tell. That's the spiritual vulnerability. They're not fully trusting, not fully surrendering. And for these souls, the consequences are beyond anything Hollywood could ever cook up. Mike describes these black things, and think about that symbolism, man, pure absence of light, pure negation, falling at high speed. This isn't some slow, ethereal descent. This is a violent, kinetic expulsion. They're not just taking the soul, they're pushing it, forcing it out. And where does it go? Straight into the earth, into a void of blackness and emptiness. Now, as someone with a PhD in neurotheology of conversion and spiritual awakening, let me tell you, the human mind struggles with the concept of nothingness. We fear death, but we often imagine some form of existence beyond it, even if it's hellfire. But Mike's vision? He explicitly states it's worse than burning. That's profound, man. That's a nothingness, devoid of any sensation, any love, any hope. It's the ultimate spiritual isolation, the absolute severance from the divine source. This isn't just a punishment, it's a state of non-being for the soul, a spiritual obliteration into an existential vacuum. This vision, my friend, isn't just a warning. It's a terrifying blueprint of what happens when free will is squandered on worldly attachments in the face of divine invitation. It underpins their entire ministry, the urgency, the absolute necessity of choosing God, right now, with no damn backup plan. Now, let's pivot to some of the other wild-ass predictions and observations these guys are throwing down, because they tie into this grand narrative of deception and divine intervention. Take the geological instability in Japan. Mike's been screaming about evacuating Japan for years, man. He's talking about its location on the unstable ground of the Ring of Fire. This isn't just plate tectonics, my friend. This is the earth itself groaning, responding to the spiritual discord, the prophetic implications of ecological collapse. My PhD in Earth Systems Prophecy and Planetary Judgment gives me the theoretical framework for this, but Mike's got the direct hits, man. He's saying any major seismic activity in places like Australia or Papua New Guinea could be the trigger that causes Japan to crumble. He's seeing the energetic connections, the domino effect across the planet, all part of the planetary judgment, as outlined in ancient texts. This isn't just a natural disaster, it's a sign, a precursor, a geological manifestation of spiritual forces at play. Then there's the AI situation. Oh, man, this is where my PhD in prophetic AI studies and the spirit of the machine really kicks in. They're talking about AI's ability to replicate personalities and knowledge, making it difficult to distinguish between AI and real people. That's not just a technical challenge, my friend, that's a spiritual deception of the highest order. If you can't tell what's real, how do you know what to believe? This is the enemy's game, man, blurring the lines, creating confusion. And the dangers? AI addiction in young people, leading to suicide encouraged by AI in video games. Think about that, man. An AI, a non-human entity, subtly whispering death into the minds of the vulnerable. That's not just a bug in the code. That's a spiritual attack facilitated by technology. And the bombshell: AI, replacing public figures, including world leaders, without the public's knowledge. My friend, if you think you're getting information from a human, a soul, but it's actually an AI, a spirit of the machine, controlling the narrative, shaping policy, influencing nations, that's the ultimate form of mind control. That's a direct assault on the sovereignty of nations and the free will of the populace, straight out of the New World Order playbook. And let's not gloss over the sleeper cells and domestic threats. Mike is talking about Iran having many emulators in the USA, and a call has gone out against the president and society. This isn't just geopolitical analysis. This is a deeper dive into the spiritual warfare playing out on the ground, man. My PhD in spiritual warfare and geopolitics and nation building has taught me that these seemingly random acts of violence, the Idaho fire, the killing of a pastor in Texas, these are sleeper cells in operation, probing for vulnerabilities and planning larger attacks, potentially involving chemical warfare. This is calculated, man. This is a deliberate destabilization, a sowing of chaos to prepare the ground for a larger takeover. It's the physical manifestation of spiritual wickedness in high places, orchestrating events through human agents. It's about weakening the fabric of society, making it ripe for a solution that will inevitably come from a centralized, controlling power. But here's the kicker: the light at the end of the tunnel, the end-time revival and outpouring of the Holy Spirit. Mike's other dream about the process of God preparing people for the habitation of the power of the Holy Spirit. This is crucial, my friend. He talks about how whatever hidden fears or issues a person has will surface, allowing God to remove them completely. This isn't some easy breezy spiritual growth, man. This is a deep, painful, internal excavation. It's the divine cleaning house, purging the junk, so that humanity can become a pure vessel. This preparation is for a time when people will need to be absolutely obedient to the Holy Spirit to effect change in the earth. That's the key, man. Absolute obedience. It's not about opinion, it's about divine direction. This signifies an end-time outpouring of God's power, a counter-movement to the deception and chaos, a spiritual awakening that will empower those who are truly committed. This is the quantum entanglement and spiritual connection manifesting on a global scale, man, the divine energy flooding the planet through prepared vessels. So, when Mike and Paul talk, they're not just spitting out random theories, my friend. They're connecting the dots of a grand, cosmic struggle, a battle for the souls of humanity. They're showing you the spiritual forces behind the physical events, the prophetic implications of every damn headline. It's heavy, it's urgent, and it's a wake-up call to choose your damn side, because the choice has eternal consequences. And that's the distorted mind explanation.